Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I'm here with my Gabbo wife, Laura.
I'm here with my Springfieldian husband, Nathan.
And we're here to just take a quick look at the Game of Life, Simpsons edition.
Woohoo! So, the Game of Life, pretty cool board game. This one's pretty much just redone to look, Simpson-y.
So, obviously, if you're a fan of The Simpsons, you're a fan of Game of Life, it does a pretty good job of recreating Springfield and all its Springfieldiness.
Sure, so there are a couple of small differences in the actual gameplay, but they're very minor. So we're going to more take a look at how they've made it look.
Yeah, because, if you take away those little alternate changes, you're pretty much just playing
the Game of Life, which is an awesome board game, by the way.
As you have mentioned. Alright.
I can't help it. It's one of my favourite board games.
Yes, I know. We've got how many versions of the thing in our board game cupboard?
Too many.
Too many.
Alright.
Now, we have the instructions here because we just wanted to just double-check some of the more specific rules.
So it's one of those sort of fold-out sort of things. But again, most of it is just the standard Game of Life rules. Hey, let us know if you've never played the Game of Life before. I'm sure there's someone.
So anyway, the aim of the Game of Life is basically to get to retirement with the most amount of money accrued.
Yes.
You can either get that via just spaces, obviously your salary from your career, and life tokens which you gather throughout the game.
Yes. You really want people to land on spaces they have to pay you and that sort of thing, and avoid high cost spaces.
And obviously, since it's the Game of Life, you got to buy a house,
have kids,
get married, and yeah, you get
pay bills. Well, sort of.
Pay bills. So that's pretty much it. Get to the end with the most amount of money.
And retire. Alright, so you have a just money tray.
You just have the spinner. This is actually slightly different. It's got Krusty's head sort of embossed there. But apart from that, it's a regular old...
Yeah, they still fall apart. And it actually says, which I don't think is showing
Krusty
up.
brand seal of approval.
Yeah.
Which is a nice nod to some episodes.
So if you haven't seen a Game of Life, these all slot into the board. So we'll show you where they kind of go when we...
You got the power plant.
Oh, yep. We have... Is that the school?
I think it's the school.
Yeah.
I'm not entirely sure what building that is.
Or maybe that's the school.
What else do we have?
Yeah, maybe that's the school.
I'm not sure.
Oh.
Retirement
Now
village?
we don't look like Simpsons experts.
We've already watched it, 30 goddamn times. Each episode. Every day.
So here we have the life tokens. Whoop.
That like a band went in my face.
Yeah. So these are fairly similar. The normal ones just kind of say the Game of Life on the back, but this has the Simpsons edition. And these have all different values.
So they're actually themed to The Simpsons.
Yes. So again, these would normally be more standard things in your life. Like maybe you invented something or won the lottery.
Or win the big trip or something.
Yeah.
So,
so
apprehend the Springfield cat burglar.
We won't read all of these. But
Survivor Soapbox Derby. So these are all related from different Simpsons
there
episodes.
There goes that one. Ooh, create the flaming mo.
Oh, there's some kid robot things coming out, which may or may not already be out about most haven't.
They might already be out now. Anyway, so yeah, lots of different ones with different values. You obviously want the highest ones, but you can't see those throughout the game.
So once you get a life tile, you can't actually see the value of it until you flip it over when you get to the end in retirement.
Same as in the normal game. So we also have a couple of bridge sort of pieces like this that have more spaces when they hook into the board.
And that one actually says, Fat Tony would be eternally grateful if you would kindly trade salary cards with any player. The
blue spaces are still optional in this version of the game.
Another sort of 3D mountain piece.
And there's a couple more of those. We'll show the board as well, so you'll see more of the moving spaces. So the money itself, again, fairly similar to the normal one, but they've just put Simpsons characters' faces on. So we have Mr. Burns on all of them, but all the same values. And I think the same colours from at least one of the versions.
I can't remember. The last three houses, you've got the church, you've got the Simpsons house, and the Quickie Mart.
Ooh, you got to have the Quickie Mart. And the cars is, I think, what Nathan's just picked up.
I'm not going to really get them out of the packaging. I think they're the station wagon from the Simpsons, rather than the regular just sedan. And the rest are all just...
little boy and girl pieces, so you can obviously put, whichever colour you'd prefer in when you're playing, and then you might get married. Well, you do get married along the way and have kids, so you add them in as you go.
So Homeowners Insurance, Old Gil says, please don't make any claims. Old Gil had a balloon payment due and didn't send the premiums to the home office, and oh nuts, I've said too much. So these function the same as the Homeowners Insurance in the original game, where if you land in a space, it's usually quite a big bill, but if you have this, you avoid it, which is nice.
So you can purchase that at any time.
Identical for the automotive insurance.
I think purchase it at the start of your turn, actually.
Yep.
Not quite at any
Just
time.
saved me $10,000 on my car insurance by refusing to sell me any.
And you should have the promissory notes or like loan papers, depends on what
So
you
we
like
have
to
Fat
call them.
Tony, so if you need to borrow money anytime during the game, you get this and you have to pay it back plus 10% or something, was it?
Yeah, I think so. It's 10% from memory. So yeah, pay back 20. Or no, there you go, an extra 5,000. I think a couple of the versions are different with the exact amounts though.
The rest we've just got here.
We should mention there are a lot of different versions
Oh.
of this. Even just with the regular Game of Life, there's quite a few different releases of it.
Well, think Monopoly. You know how Monopoly have like tons
they
and
just
tons.
keep on trucking.
Game of Life isn't that bad, but we own the Pirates of the Caribbean, SpongeBob, this one,
Wizard of Oz. Plus about 4 or 5 of the regular one, but all different editions.
Because they all actually play differently in some way.
That's what I was just saying.
Which is very unusual to see in a sort of a...
The same game, essentially. Yeah. So here is the board, or the back of it. You'll notice the holes for where everything slots in.
There are some editions of the Game of Life where you can actually... It's a build once sort of game that folds back in the box pre-built. This isn't one of them.
No, it is handy, but then as a kid I always really enjoyed...
Putting it together,
yeah. So this is where you start, and if you're not familiar with it, you can get a job or an education. So that decides which way around the path you go.
I'm still here, I'm just making room.
Yeah, Nathan's just clearing off the table behind the scenes. So if you decide to get an education, you take out some of those promissory notes because obviously an education costs money. And if you want to get a job, you just start straight away around here with no debt to your name.
I will say, borrowing money, I've never ever borrowed money except at the start of the game to pay for an education. I've never gone that far back.
No.
So, very rare to happen.
Yeah, I also find that borrowing the money at the start of the game doesn't always improve things either.
No, because I mean, all the in the original game, the education, when you go to take a job, you can only take to take certain jobs, you need a degree.
Like to be a doctor, for example.
Yeah, and if you haven't gone and taken the education route, you've got to pick another career card. So
you also get more options. So if you do get an education, same again as in the normal game, you get to pull out 3 salary cards and
pick the
3
best one
careers.
out
Yeah,
of
we'll
those.
show those cards in a minute.
Yep.
Hopefully Nathan hasn't put them too far away. So I'm just going to show a look around the board. You have paydays, how you make your money, places like this where you must stop. So they're obviously all themed a little bit more the regular spaces, but the stop ones are essentially the same.
yeah, so all the regular spaces, every single one is themed to The Simpsons in some way.
Like invest in the Leftorium, for example.
Or car destroyed at Monster Truck Rally. Good early episode.
Even the married one, even though it is still essentially just the same, get married.
At
It's
Shotguns Pete.
Shotgun Pete's, yeah, exactly. So we'll just show you the general path. Ooh, around the board. You guys can pause if you want to maybe read any more of those spaces.
And like the life tokens, they're all based off episodes.
Yeah.
Or scenes from episodes, so...
And you can see where the buildings and like the other paths would normally go.
Now, when did this come out? I think 2004, possibly?
And then down this corner, sorry, it's a bit hard, it keeps trying to unfold itself. We have the retirement section, essentially. So we've got the... Can you point? I can't.
So you have the Springfield Retirement Castle and Burns' Manor. And just like the original games, at the end, if you get there first, you can choose to either retire at the castle or Burns' Manor. If you retire at Burns' Manor and you're first, you get 3 life tokens.
No, so you're not safe if you land there. People can still take your life tokens if they run out in the draw pile, but you also get the opportunity to win 4 extras at the end of the game as well. If you go to the retirement castle, you are safe, but you don't get any extras. So, it's up to you. Depends on how much money you have and how many life tokens.
If you're only playing with 2 people, I find that you almost never ever run out of life tokens. So you pretty much always should retire at Burns' Manor. Obviously, with more than 2 people, you run out of life tokens quicker, and then obviously it's more...
But that's strategy for other people. Let's have a look at those cards.
All right, so
these are, again, obviously themed based on The Simpsons.
So we have stock cards.
But have the same general idea as the regular game.
Itchy and Scratchy, Mr. Plow, Globex, Mother Loving Sugar Corp. You know, so these are all
Senior Ding Dongs,
Costingtons and Southern Cracker Company.
I do like, that's why we have this version, even though we could just play the regular one. It's just nice to see what little bits and pieces they've added and included.
And it was 2004 it came out.
Oh, there you go.
So that would be, it came out in 89, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 years. So they would have been in season 15 roughly when this came out.
Alrighty then. So salary cards, you want to take those. So as we mentioned, same as before, you get to pick 3 of these if you've got an education at the start of the game, or just the 1 if you haven't. You'll notice on these ones though, they're different colours.
So you got green, you got red, you got yellow and purple.
Yep. So when you pick them out, they actually have to match the salary card for you to be able to keep them. So
around the border there, it's got a red and a purple.
Yeah, so just here and here at the bottom. So you can't, for example, have...
So these two would be fine because the colours would be purple and red, but...
You couldn't have, drum roll please, that one, because it doesn't match the colours. There's also, not included in the original game, more things that happen based on your career, which I think is kind of nice. So
I think in the original ones, a lot of them it was like you had if you're the police officer.
Yes,
I think if you rolled
spun a 10,
you got 5,000 or 10,000 from any other player who spun it. Every single person or career that you take have most have an extra
something. So that's written on the card there. So again, feel free to pause those. So see, this one as well says degree required.
Offshore is fine.
Yeah. So again, pause if you would like to read those. The other thing is you'll note they have the symbols. Again, same as the original. If you land on a space where you have to pay something and it has the same symbol,
you don't pay.
If you land on your own, yes.
But
if you land on someone else's,
yes, then you pay them the amount it says on the board.
Yeah. So that's an easy way for money to kind of move around the game. Again, same as the original. People are probably like, we've played this before. So I'll just quickly flick through those. So again, if you want to read them, you can.
This is like, what? I don't know. They've done a really nice job on this. There's a lot of themed board games, and you get them and they're just cheap and they're not very fun and they're really boring. I think the Hobbit Monopoly might come to mind. I think that was a bit of a lazy one compared to the Lord of the Rings trilogy Monopoly.
But this one, it's nice. They've put a lot of effort in, and these are the houses. So they obviously range in price, how much you need to pay, how much insurance costs, same as in real life.
Funny about that.
Yeah.
It's almost like we're playing the game of life, but in real life now.
Oh my goodness. So yeah, as you can tell, we quite like just how they theme all of these differently. Gameplay, essentially the same, but yeah, just a nice little addition if you're a Simpsons fan.
And if you're not a Simpsons fan, don't get it. You're not going to get any enjoyment out of it.
Well, yeah, I think that's that's pretty obvious, I hope. If you enjoyed watching this video, give us a thumbs up. Let us know down below if you've never played it before.
Or if you've never played a game of life.
That's what I meant.
That's
what I said.
I thought you meant original Simpsons.
No. Press that subscribe button.
Sounds good.
Thanks for watching.
Bye-bye.